Hey, what's happening, everybody out there in the XRP community? I wanted to make a video. First, I want to give a shout out to CKJ, big follower, big fan of him. I've been talking offline with him about what I'm about to share with you. And I want to go over something I've been following for a while now. I've been seeing this since, I guess, like early summer. I've been talking with CKJ about it. But I just want to share this with the community. Don't beat me up too bad. It is going to address some of the 589 end of year prediction stuff. But trust me, I'm going to try to do it in the most sensitive to everybody's point of view way. So, end of the year 589 for me to some extent is already taking place. I want to share with you why I feel that way. One, if you're going to go down the bearable 1, 2, 3 clues just for fun. First of all, as a side note, I was an investor before I found any of that stuff. Proof is in the partnerships. You invest in a company because you believe in what they're doing and you believe they're going to be successful at doing it. So after this stuff had came out with Bearable Guy in the winter, I started looking at it. But anyway, coming up to the 589 end of year, we all know that some people believe it's a direct price prediction and some people believe it's a clue and some people believe it's nonsense. So here's what I wanted to bring to the situation. 589 plus made me find the COMEX rule that somebody actually early summer had posted in a stream. It might have been Cobb, it might have been CKJ. I followed up on it and it really, really stuck with me and it never left. Okay, so I found the 589 rule, which is created by the CFTC, the CME, and the CBOE. If you look into all of this, the CFTC is the Community Futures Trade Commission. The CME is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. The CBOE is the Commodities Board's Options Exchange. So all of these entities are together. And a federal judge, if I'm not mistaken, September 27th or in September sometime, came out in the, I think it was the My Bitcoin or my, that in the case with Bitcoin and the similar name. And the federal judge had ruled that all commodities, or all currencies, excuse me, were commodities and they were to be regulated by the CFTC. Now, that's not my opinion, that's what a federal judge said. So, the CFTC has been deemed the referee of the cryptocurrency new world to come. They're the referee on the field. If we start to look within those rules, we find the COMEX 589 AB rule, which is a rule amongst the hundreds of other rules, if not thousands of other rules they have, to help govern and keep control of the market. Those particular rules point to price adjustments for stability, fluctuation, or a shortage situation, or a hyperinflation adjustment against a fiat currency. So that's pretty interesting itself, just to find that out. And then when you look at the fact that Miguel Villas came from the CME over to Ripple, had an incredible job there, courtesy of CKJ. He cracked that all wide open. The DX.exchange just a few days ago posted on their Twitter account that it was really nice that the new commissioner for the CFTC was so thoughtful with the new innovation that's coming. You can find it on Twitter. His name is Rostin Bainum, I believe. And he's very, very hip to crypto. He's excited about it coming into the industry. We all, if you haven't, you should watch it, the Tika Twilar video where it gives you the chronological timeline between what the large investors do to manipulate the media, to manipulate the masses, and make the opposite talk their book and just beat the public up like crazy. Let's see. Oh yeah, where everybody's theme is we can't see the forest for the trees, right? So everybody's theme is we're waiting for regulation. We're waiting for regulation. Yes, there will be new regulation because this is a new asset class. This is new. This has never been here. They're going to have to craft the right stuff for it. There'll probably be different classifications for certain kinds of tokens. That'll be interesting to find out itself. But the truth is that the referee on the field is the CFTC. It's the Commodities Futures Trade Commission. And even more to that point is that I think today or yesterday, I believe it was Whale Panda and a guy named Phil that originally put it out on Twitter. But that was another acknowledgement that the CFTC had give the approval to back, because they are the ones that are actually ensuring backed for what they're about to launch in the cryptocurrency space. This has all got a theme in it, guys, and I just want to bring everybody to it because we've been concerned so much with when is the price going to happen, when is the price, or when is it going to be 589 or whatever, when is the price going to go up. But I think the real question we need to start asking ourselves as a long-term investor is how does the price go up? The question is how. And it's pretty obvious to me that with the CFTC being deemed the referee of this new emerging market by a federal judge, it's no longer anyone's opinion. And if you want to put a 589 tie in it, they do have a 589 rule, and it does point to some pretty significant things. And that could mean that they have to do the COMEX rule to do price adjustments for bringing in all these new FIs as they phase them in, and there's new use case running through their payment rails and all that stuff. So, or not new use case, but just new payment flows running through the rails. And they may use it to do that and circuit breaker the prices. They phase all of this in through sectors of the economy. Or maybe it's a situation where things start running so hard from Wall Street over into the crypto space that they got to circuit breaker this thing so it doesn't crash the stock market itself. That almost makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Seems how that if you think about it, you know, the New York Stock Exchange owns backed. ICE owns backed. So if they're opening the platform, I think they kind of know what they're expecting to happen to the one that they already own and run, right? So if we just start, I want to bring attention to all this stuff because I'm not the best at it. I'm not an expert at it. I've been going down this rabbit hole a long time. What I do know is that it's no longer the wild, wild west. Those days are over. They're over, right? So at the end of the day, I feel like we got a clue that let us know where we're going to be living as a coin and a emerging market, a new asset class. We're going to be living in the world of commodities, and that's amazing. And we don't know yet what's to come, but I just want to try to get as many people here in this place of how and who the referee is, so we can really be on top of what these new rules will be when they come out, and we don't miss anything. And if there's anybody out there that has an enormous depth to commodities, precious metals, and understands the COMEX rule or the implications of it and what it can do, or if you have any experience of it being used at any time, love to hear your comments or your thoughts on it. Another thing that I wanted to also mention is that aside from the COMEX rule itself and XRP, it could be that the COMEX rule could get used in oil, gold, and silver because it is a rule that is for the entire commodities market. So it can be used for anything in commodities that begins to run away, like hyperinflation due to a global reset on the dollar, which would cause precious metals to spike through the roof, and oil as well. That could be something that's doing, that's reference to that as well. There's many things that are here that this could be implying or whatever. And I hope I don't seem like I'm rambling because there's a lot here, and I just want to get a conversation going about it, and I want to get more eyes and more ears on this information so we can be better informed as a community. CKJ, Alex Cobb, all the guys out here, they're all good. Thinking Crypto, Jungle. I mean, I'm missing some, and I'm sorry for that, but everybody's fantastic. But everybody's done such hard work to get it to a certain place. I want to make sure that we don't miss this with the CFTC because this is enormous, and they are the referee on the field, not because Brad said so or anybody else. It's what the federal judge said, And you can even read that reaffirmation of that fact with Back's article through Abacus Journal that just came out this morning or what have you, maybe as late as yesterday, but last night or this morning. And you can see right in that article that they're approved by the CFTC, not the SEC. Oh, and another point, Corey Johnson. We may never hear from the SEC. Well, you know why that is? Because they're not a security, just like we've all always known. They're a commodity. And they're going to be controlled and governed by the CFTC. And that's why we may never hear from the SEC. But, you know, this is the way, again, like the media manipulation that goes on. Like, we kind of told you, but we kind of didn't, right? But I just want to bring the attention to this stuff. The COMEX rules itself, they're important because overall, whether it's hyperinflation, price adjustment, or fluctuation, stability, whatever it is, we need to understand that the CFTC can come in and they can freeze this market at any time. And I'm not talking about personal XRP transactions, peer-to-peer. I'm talking about market action. They can freeze buying and selling of the market whenever they say it's necessary. And we need to understand that, and we need to start understanding why would they need to do that. And I think there's going to be some reasons coming up here soon that we're going to find out maybe why they need to do that. So again, I just want to thank everybody that does watch this. Thank you for the 11, 12 minutes that you've suffered of my rambling. And I hope it gives some kind of direction. And even more, I hope somebody out here that has more knowledge of the commodities market and precious metals and this instance of happening comes forward and really shares their knowledge with us, because we could certainly use it. Oh, and another thing, the best I've ever found so far with the CFTC stepping in and taking action, I believe it was back in either 2008 or 2009, somewhere around in there. The oil had spiked to like $140 some a barrel, and they stepped in. Now, they didn't use the COMEX rule, but what they did is they controlled it through the futures market, and they actually put handcuffs and guidelines on the people that were buying and selling the futures on the oil, which was like they weren't allowed to hold as many contracts, and the contracts weren't allowed to be but of a certain limit. So you could see how just in that example, they came in to circuit breaker oil from going too far, too high, too quickly, which I do remember gas prices went through the roof. They were high as I don't know what that year, and it was all due to that taking place in the commodities market. So that's an example I have found. It wasn't the 589, but it does certainly show that the CFTC is the referee on the field, and they will be coming in to make some kind of thing if they need to, whenever they feel they need to, and nobody's going to stop them from doing it. But it just shows again, too, look, this market is getting legit. This is the stuff that we've all been saying. We're waiting for regulations, and we still are. We're waiting for those new asset class regulations that are going to come into play, but they're going to come into play, and they're going to be governed by the CFTC. All right, guys, I'm out of here. If you have anything, don't beat me up too bad. 589 may be an overlapping meaning. It could mean more than just what I'm thinking it is. So go easy on me, and I hope everybody's doing well. I know one thing, it's going to be an incredible 2019 no matter what, and I really do believe that. So I hope everybody's well out there right now, and take care. I hope to hear from you soon. Hit me up.